Hey everyone, thinking about a new truck? Maybe you're just curious what's up with this 2025 Ford F-150.
Buckle up.
We're going to dive deep today. We've got a seriously in-depth review here.
Way more than just the usual marketing stuff.
Exactly. We're going to answer the big questions like, is this F-150 actually worth all the hype?
How does it stack up against its rivals?
You know, the Chevy Silverado, the Ram 1500, and most importantly,
Is this the right truck for you?
that's what we're here to find out.
You know, one of the things that really jumps out from this review is just how versatile this F-150 wants to be. I mean, it's not just a tough work truck, it's also designed to be comfortable. Refined, even. You could drive this thing every day.
Yeah, I noticed that too. They were really impressed with how smooth it drives and how nimble it is for such a big truck.
Especially with that adaptive suspension.
Oh, yeah, that adaptive suspension. That's huge, especially if you're going to be using this truck for, both work and daily driving.
Makes sense. You don't want to feel like you're wrestling a tank to the grocery store, right?
Not at all. And speaking of different needs, let's talk engines.
Yeah,
I mean, the 2025 F-150, it has everything.
they really do. From a hybrid that's supposed to be pretty fuel efficient all the way up to that beastly V8 in the Raptor R.
It's like Ford's trying to offer something for every single truck buyer.
Kind of feels that way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be a little overwhelming, honestly, with all those choices. But hey, options are good. So on one end, you've got that fuel-efficient hybrid, although the review did say the transition between gas-electric, it's a little jerky at low speeds.
Yeah, that can happen.
Then you've got the other end of the spectrum, the classic V8, including the monster 5.2-liter in the Raptor R.
720 horsepower.
Whoa, that's a lot of horses. And of course, if you're going green, there's always the all-electric F-150 Lightning.
It's amazing to see how automakers are adapting, trying to cater to all these different preferences.
For sure. But no matter which engine you pick, one thing's for sure. This F-150 is ready to work. We're talking a towing capacity up to 13,500 pounds.
Think about that. You could tow a 30-foot travel trailer.
Wow. That opens up some serious possibilities for adventure.
Doesn't it?
And with a maximum payload of 2,445 pounds.
You can haul a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this is definitely a truck built to get things done. Now, of course, we got to talk about fuel economy. It's a big deal for a lot of truck owners.
Absolutely. Got to factor that in.
Here's the thing, though. The official EPA estimates, they weren't out yet when this review was written.
Ah, I see.
So,
But we can look at the 2024 models to get a general idea.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And just remember, there's usually a trade-off. More power usually means you could be visiting the gas station more often.
That's usually how it goes, yeah.
So, for instance, the 2.7-liter V6 with rear-wheel drive, it gets an estimated 19 miles per gallon in the city, 25 on the highway. The hybrid does even better.
Oh, interesting.
About 22 mpg city, 24
Yeah.
highway. But if you're craving that V8 power, that 5.0 liter, you're looking at around 16 mpg in the city and 24 on the highway.
Okay.
If you go for the Raptor R, let's just say fuel economy is probably not your top priority with that one. It gets an estimated 10 mpg city and 15 highway.
Yeah, with gas prices being what they are, it's definitely something to think about carefully.
Absolutely. So now let's step inside this F-150, see what the interior is all about.
Let's do it.
The review describes the cabin as spacious and comfortable, especially with that Super Crew cab. You can fit up to 6 people in there.
No, you'd appreciate that. All that legroom in the back, especially if you're often driving around with passengers or family.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they raved about the front seats. Super supportive, which is great for long drives. But they did mention that the back seats in the Super Cab, they might be a bit cramped for taller folks.
Good to know.
And in terms of luxury, well, it seems like the F-150 maybe doesn't quite reach the level of the top-of-the-line Ram 1500.
That's true, but, the King Ranch and Platinum trims, they do offer premium leather and some other fancy touches.
Right, so it kind of bridges the gap a little bit there.
It does, yeah.
What I really liked was how much they focused on the cargo flexibility. I mean, you've got 3 different bed lengths to choose from.
That's great. You can really find the perfect fit for whatever you need to haul.
Exactly. Lumber, equipment, camping gear, you name it. There's a bed size for you. And then there's the Pro Access tailgate.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool feature.
That side hinged section. Imagine you've got a stack of plywood. You don't have to climb into the bed. You just swing open that side section and you're good to go.
It's the little things, right, that make life easier. I wonder how that compares to the cargo features on other trucks.
Well, the review suggests that while other trucks are starting to catch up, The F-150 has been kind of a leader in this area. Okay, let's talk value.
Yeah.
The review gives the F-150 high marks for its pricing, competitive across all the different trims.
That's great to hear. Means there's probably an F-150 out there for a lot of different budgets.
True, but here's a thought. Is it really a good value if you end up paying for features you don't even need?
You got a point there. It really depends on what you're looking for in a truck, right? Your priorities and how much you're willing to spend.
For sure. To give you an idea, the base XL trim starts at $38,710. But if you want the top-of-the-line Raptor R, that'll cost you a cool $109,555.
Wow, that's quite a range.
It is. And then you've got trims like the King Ranch and Platinum somewhere in between. They offer more luxury and features. So, yeah, there's a lot to consider when you're thinking about value.
Right.
But let's not get too distracted by all the bells and whistles. We got to talk about safety. A big deal for any truck owner.
Absolutely essential.
And the F-150, it does pretty well here. It got a 5-star overall safety rating from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
NHTSA, yeah, that's reassuring.
And it comes standard with a bunch of safety features. Automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, lane keeping assist. Those are becoming more common these days, but it's great to see them standard.
For sure. And from what the review said, it sounds like Ford has really focused on making those features easy to use. Intuitive, you know?
That's good. However, it is worth noting that the F-150 got a 4-star rating in the rollover test.
Oh, interesting.
Something to keep in mind, especially if you're going to be taking it off-road.
Definitely. Okay, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's see how the F-150 stacks up against its rivals.
You mean the Chevy Silverado 1500 and the Ram 1500?
The big ones, yeah. What did the review say about how the F-150 compares?
Well, for starters, the Silverado, it falls a bit short in the towing and payload department compared to the F-150.
Okay.
And it doesn't have a hybrid option, which the F-150 does. The Ram 1500, on the other hand, it's all about that luxurious interior and a smooth ride. So it really depends what you're looking for.
What's important to you?
Right. Oh, and one more thing. The 2025 model, it's mostly a carryover from the 2024 F-150.
Oh, really?
So if you're thinking about buying used, it might be worth checking out reviews of the older models, too.
Good tip. We've covered a lot of ground already, but there's still so much more to explore.
Definitely. Welcome back, everybody. We're going even deeper into this 2025 Ford F-150. And, you know, one thing I'm really curious about is all the tech in this truck. The review talked about a ton of gadgets and gizmos. Right?
Oh, yeah, they weren't kidding. One of the biggest changes in the truck world lately has been all this technology. I mean, trucks aren't just about power and hauling anymore.
It's like they're turning into these high-tech computers on wheels.
Exactly.
So what are some of the coolest tech features in this 2025 F-150?
Well, even the base model, the XL, it comes standard with a 12-inch touchscreen infotainment system.
Wow, that's a pretty big screen.
It is. But it's not just about the size. The software's got to be good, too. And the F-150 system, it's known for being really user-friendly, responsive. Plus, you get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard.
So you can connect your phone, no problem.
Seamlessly. All your apps, navigation, music, right there on the screen.
That's awesome.
And if you want even more connectivity, there's Ford's SYNC 4 system.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Cloud-based navigation, voice recognition, even a Wi-Fi hotspot. It's like a mobile office.
Speaking of feeling connected, does all this tech ever make the driving experience feel, I don't know, too complicated?
It's a good question. But the review said that Ford did a good job of integrating all this tech. It doesn't feel overwhelming.
That's good to hear. So we talked about the F-150 Lightning earlier, the all-electric one. I'd love to hear more about how it compares to the gas-powered F-150.
Oh, the Lightning is a game changer. They might look similar from the outside, but underneath, they're totally different.
So what makes the Lightning so special?
Well, it's got 2 electric motors that crank out a combined 580 horsepower and a whopping 775 pound-feet of torque.
Wow, that's insane. Does that mean it's a lot faster?
Oh, yeah. The Lightning can go from 0 to 60 in a little over 4 seconds.
That's quicker than some sports cars. I bet it feels totally different to drive, too.
You bet. The Lightning is incredibly smooth and quiet. No roaring V8 engine here. And of course, you never have to stop at a gas station.
That's a big plus. But I know some people are still worried about charging, especially if they live in rural areas or take a lot of road trips.
I get it. The charging infrastructure is still being built out, but the Lightning has an estimated range of 320 miles on a single charge.
That's pretty impressive. And Ford is constantly innovating. They even came out with a feature that lets you use the truck's battery to power your house.
Well, you're thinking of Ford Intelligent Backup Power. It basically turns the Lightning into a giant generator.
That's amazing. So it's not just a truck, it's like a home energy solution too.
It really is blurring the lines.
Okay.
Okay, we've talked performance, technology, even the electric option. But we can't forget about off-road capability.
That's a big one for a lot of truck buyers.
And the F-150 definitely delivers, especially the Raptor and Raptor R models.
Those are built for serious off-roading.
Yeah, they've got a totally different suspension system designed for high-speed off-roading, long travel shocks, upgraded suspension parts.
And then there are those massive tires.
Oh yeah, those tires are ready for anything.
They look awesome.
They give the Raptor and Raptor R incredible ground clearance and traction, perfect for rough terrain. And they also have skid plates and special off-road driving modes.
So if you're into rock crawling or desert running, those are the ones to get.
For sure. But even the standard F-150 models, they're not bad off-road. You can get four-wheel drive and optional off-road packages.
So you don't have to go all-out Raptor if you just need something for the occasional dirt road.
Exactly. The F-150 gives you options. So we've talked performance, tech, the electric Lightning, off-road capability. Now let's talk about something that's really important for truck buyers: reliability.
Yeah, the F-150 has a good reputation for being tough and dependable. But like any vehicle, there have been some issues with certain model years.
It happens, so you got to do your research, especially if you're going to be relying on this truck for work or hauling heavy stuff.
How can you get the best info on the F-150's reliability?
I'd check out independent reviews from places like Consumer Reports and J.D. Power. They're pretty unbiased. And of course, online forums and owner reviews.
Those can be really helpful.
See what real people are saying. The good news is the F-150 has been around for a long time, so there's a lot of data out there. And Ford offers a pretty good warranty, too.
That's good to know. But even the best warranty won't cover everything, so it's always good to do your homework before you buy.
Absolutely. We've covered a lot today. Performance, technology, the electric Lightning, even reliability.
It feels like we've given a pretty well-rounded overview of this truck.
We have. But there's one more thing we haven't touched on yet, and that's customization. The F-150 is incredible for that. You can really make it your own.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into the 2025 Ford F-150. And they say save the best for last, right? So we're going to talk about customization. You can really make this truck your own.
The number of options, it's mind-boggling.
It's like, where do you even start?
Well, it all starts with picking the right trim level.
Right, like we talked about earlier, you got the XL, the Platinum, the Raptor, all those different trims.
Each one has its own standard features and options. But then you can customize even further.
Within the trim.
Yeah. You can choose different engines, cab sizes, bed lengths, drivetrains, you name it.
So many decisions to make.
It is. Four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, crew cab or extended cab, short bed, long bed. It's part of the fun.
It does sound kind of fun, but also a little overwhelming.
Well, yeah, but that's where you really get to fine-tune it. You can add packages and individual options, like a heavy-duty towing package, off-road suspension, premium sound system, leather interior.
Oh, and all those fancy safety features.
Right. It's like you're building your dream truck.
Okay, but for someone who's not, a truck expert, where do you even begin?
Think about how you're going to use the truck. What do you need it to do?
Right, like, am I hauling heavy stuff, towing a trailer? Or is it just for driving around town?
Exactly. Once you know how you're going to use it, then you can start narrowing down those options.
So if I'm just using it for commuting and errands, I probably don't need that heavy-duty towing package.
Probably not. You might be more interested in fuel economy, comfort, tech features.
But if I'm a contractor, I need something that can handle a lot of weight.
Right. Payload, towing capacity, durability, those are your priorities.
And if I'm an off-roader, I want all-terrain tires, good ground clearance.
And exactly. Match the truck to your lifestyle.
They're all about finding the right fit.
I like that. And Ford's website, they have some great tools. You can build your truck online, see how much it would cost.
Oh, cool. It's like those car configurators.
It is.
Yeah.
But just remember, all those options, they add up.
Price-wise.
Yeah. You can easily spend tens of thousands more than the base price if you go crazy with the options.
Yeah, gotta set a budget and stick to it.
Exactly. Figure out what you absolutely need versus what would just be nice to have.
And I guess it's also good to think about resale value.
Oh, good point. Some options hold their value better than others, so we've covered a lot. Performance, technology, fuel economy, safety, reliability, and all those customization options.
It's been a really thorough deep dive. So any final thoughts on the 2025 F-150?
I think it's a great truck. It's versatile, capable, and you can really personalize it. The electric Lightning is impressive. And that backup power system, that's really innovative.
But with so many choices, it can be tough to figure out which F-150 is the right one. What's your advice?
Ask yourself, what's most important to you in a truck? How are you going to use it? What features are must-haves? And what's your budget?
So figure out your priorities.
Exactly. Then you can narrow down the options and find the perfect F-150 for you.
Great advice. It's all about finding the right truck for your needs.
Exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into the 2025 Ford F-150. We hope you learned something.
And that you enjoyed it.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.